everybody, it's Christine. Welcome back to my channel. I'm doing this on my phone again, so please bear with me with my tablet. Internet's slow today because it's really dreary and rainy and whatever. So this is my weekly reads. I finished 4 things. Currently reading 1, so not a bad week, and they're all 4-star reads. So the first one I finished was Survive the Night by Riley Sager. Sorry for the glare. I had to return it to the library because somebody put a hold on it. But this was about a girl who goes to the rideshare board at her school and needs to get a ride home. And she meets up with Josh, and he's willing to give her a ride and share the expenses. And I thought it was her sister that had been killed, and it's not. She's an only child. It's her best friend that was killed by the campus killer. And as she's riding home with this Josh, things that he's saying and doing are making her think that he's the campus killer. And it goes from there. It was really good. There was a couple of twists that I kind of guessed, and there was a couple of twists that I did not see coming at all. So that was nice. The main character, what was her name? Charlie. She drove me nuts at the beginning because she kept flip-flopping from, I want to get out of this car. No, I need to keep going to save other people. I don't want anybody else hurt. No, I need to stay. And then she's constantly, she's a big old movie fan, like black and white movies. So she's constantly thinking in movie terms, and it was kind of a baddie thing throughout the book because sometimes, like, it's a completely unreliable narrator. So, I still thought it was good though, especially the little twist at the end. Like, yeah, it was good. So, then I read I finished another one first, but I'll do this one first. Giant Days issue 5 by Allison, Truman, and Kogan. I don't know the first names right now. I'm just reading them by issue, not by volume, so not the bind-ups, just each issue, because I can read them quick on my phone while I'm waiting for my son to get, when I have to pick him up, but he's done school now, so I can read them on here, at home. It's just about 3 girls that are at their first year of university over in London, and it's still quirky. Yeah, I still love Esther though. And then I finished, yeah, this is the one I finished first, if it'll bring it up, was Storm Siren by Mary Weber. It's the first book in the Storm Siren trilogy. It's hard to see, but she's an elemental, and it's a fantasy, by the way. She's an elemental, and it's elementals are only supposed to be men, and she's obviously a female. And the main way you can tell an elemental is by their white hair and their crystal blue eyes. So her parents were killed when she was 5 years old, so she's been bought and sold 14 times. And because she keeps killing people with their elements because she can't control her power. She doesn't want it. She feels guilty. So then her 15th owner buys her. I think that she bought, yeah. And she takes her to her home, and there's this major war going on between 3. I think there's 3. Like factions. And it was good. It was a 4-star. Oh, what did I say about it? Because there was a couple of parts that I appreciated this, because most YA novels, when a female character sees the male hero, whatever, they usually say, you know, they're in the middle of this battle or whatever, and they're saying, oh, I can't believe he's so cute, and, you know, stuff like that. And I appreciated this because there was one part in here, and she said, why am I thinking of this now? We're in a major thing. We have to do something else. Like, why am I the stupid idiot that's thinking this? And I had to laugh because it's such a big YA thing to have them fawning and fainting over the male's good looks. And she's like, you know, trying to slap herself in the head going, knock it off. You have other things to think about. So I appreciated that. I got a little kick out of that one. And for me, elemental abilities are like one of my favorite abilities to read about. Like X-Men, my favorite was Storm because she can control nature. There's something about it that I just love it. Yeah, so the ending, though, the last like sentence, I was just like, it's done. Like, this is, wow. So I'm gonna continue on with this series because it is pretty good. Yeah, I know I'm not doing it justice, but I just got a little bit of bad news, so I'm trying to be upbeat. And the last one I finished was Kathy Reich's Death du Jour, and it's book 2 in the Temperance Brennan series. She's a forensic pathologist, which means she deals with skeletons and trying to find out how they died based on different circumstances, but she's not a coroner. She works with the coroner. Like, if the coroner can't figure out something, she gets the bones and goes through that. This was a whole whirlwind. One or two things I kind of figured out just right before they were revealed because of the way it's written. You kind of figure it out. But, hey Razzle. Let's see. It starts off with her at a old closed convent graveyard digging up bones because they want to make this woman a saint. And then she gets a call because there's this other fire. And this is in Montreal because she goes back and forth from South Carolina to Quebec and back and forth. And she gets called to a house fire, and there are 5 bodies there, and they all get burned, but other circumstances are happening. And so she's dealing with that, and then her sister shows up, and then she goes back to South Carolina, and there's issues there. And so it's the way Kathy Reichs has wrapped it all up was amazing. I didn't like her sister. She's flighty. But, and she's one of those that I'm going to do it. I don't care what you think. Sort of deal. And she's always trying something new, which isn't a problem, but she never sticks with it. So when she gets bored with something, she goes the next thing, and she gets bored with that, and she goes, and I'm talking about men as well. Marriages don't last for her. She's like got 3 marriages under her belt. So there's so much that happens in this book that I can't really go into it because some of it's not revealed until later. But I gave it a 4 stars. Yeah, loved it. And so what I'm currently reading, and after this book, my Triple RC challenge will be finished for June. So this is Chateau Villon by Emily Spencer, and it is about a girl whose father has been exiled from his family in France, so they're in California growing grapes. So the family needs a loan because the winery that they sell their grapes to has been bought out and refuses to buy their grapes. So they need to go to her grandfather in France to get a loan just to tide them over until the next year and they can find a new contract. She gets to France, and the heir to her grandfather's winery there is a pompous ass. I'm not very far into it. But he assumes that she's there to get her inheritance of the winery, and she's just there for a loan. But because of circumstances, things get misconstrued. Her grandfather has a hand in it. So, just noticed a red mark. Yeah, he's already insulted her, and she thinks he's gorgeous. I'm sorry, but once I get insulted, I'm done. And I had a feeling this was what it was going to be like going into it, so I'm not as upset, but these older ones drove me nuts. This is why, okay, I started reading these when I was 10 or 11 years old, and I stopped reading them because they pissed me off so much, because the men were insulting the women are like, have no backbone, and they take it and think the guys are gorgeous, and then all of a sudden there's love. No. They've gotten better since then, but yeah, so when I was a kid and read these, it drove me nuts. But yes, I grew up reading these early. Anyways, she has got a little spunk to her. She's not trying to back down or anything, so we'll see how it goes, but I can pretty much guess he's gonna drive her nuts in the gorgeousness, and then he's gonna be insulting to her, and then they're gonna fall in love. It's usually how these things go. So that's what I'm currently reading. And then these next books are for my A Million More Pages challenge to read, like the challenges. I don't have to read them in June. I can, that's just what I decided to see if I can do the challenge this year. And if they don't get read in June, they'll just get passed into July. Except for one, maybe not. So, I might pick up The Cave Dreamers by Jean Williams. I just know it's a historical romance. Very, very tiny writing. And a very thick book. But historical romance I can usually fly through, unless they're not keeping my attention. Same for this one, Skye O'Malley by Beatrice Small. It's got really tiny writing. But I love mass market paperback. As you can see, I have tons. And this is just one bookcase. I have like 5 more. And a pile of books. Actually, there's 3 rows there. This is De Leclerc's Where There's a Will. I don't know what one in family it is. But... oh, it's number 6 in family. But it is a Harlequin book. That I'll probably do in a day and a half, 2 days. With work. Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I've had this on so many TBRs and I want to read it. I just have not picked it up yet. And then I don't think I can find the Poirot, and I'm not sure which one was published first, if it was the first Poirot or if it was this one. But this is Agatha Christie's Murder at the Vicarage. It's the first Miss Marple. I've not watched any of these, and I've not watched any of the Hercule Poirot. I should know how to say that. Because I just was not into them before. And this is the last one that I had down for one of the challenges, and it's to read a book with the majority with your favorite color on the cover. And, oh, my husband just texted. So, I've already slotted in, I used Haunting Violet for that, which was all pretty much purple as well, but I might still read Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Just because I've never read it before. But I don't have to read this now because I've used another book for it that was not already on the challenge. So, that is everything right now. Now I got to deal with the problem that I just got notified of. And it has to do with my business. So, yeah. I shall talk to you later. Let me know down below what you guys are reading. All the links will be below for the 2 Goodreads groups. The Romance Readers, Triple RC. It's Romance Readers Reading Challenges. And A Million More Pages, as well as my other channel link, which I've not added to. I keep trying to do a work with me. And this last week has been just hectic with my son's exams. And he's done now. So, fingers crossed that I don't have to keep running back and forth. But he might be having a job, so life. Anyways, let me know what you're reading down below, what you've enjoyed this week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.